Before we get started, I have to share this with you because I think it's funny. It says, I don't understand your specific kind of crazy, but I do admire your total commitment to it. Focus. Hopefully I'm not too dark. Do you think I'm too dark? I have my light on.
It's
Well, I'm a little close. That's my best light if I get a little closer. All right, we're recording? Okay, here we go. Well, welcome to Gen Zoomers, real talk on just about anything. And I am Sharon.
and I'm Julie.
And we're best friends. We started Gen Zoomers because of COVID. We needed a happy hour. This is our happy space, our happy hour. And so before we get started with this exciting rock star lady that is about to be episode number 7, cheers to you, Julie.
Cheers. What are you drinking?
Oh, this is my Mule. Is that what they call them? It's a Moscow Mule in my polka dot glass because I just love these polka dots. Cheers and goodwill, and let's have a good show. Gen Zoomer is Gen X, Julie. Boomer, slurred together to be Gen Zoomer. We're focusing on women over 40, but listen, we do have women that have been listening to our show that are well under 40 and they're enjoying
Some even in their 20s.
Some even in their 20s. Okay. Darcy Feinstein is the co-owner of Rockin Robin US essential oils. She started her brand in 2017. After 36 years in advertising, she is shifting her focus. And by the way, that's how we know Darcy. She is shifting her focus on her essential oil brand, and she is working towards her master certification in life coaching. These two pursuits are perfect representations of her loving and kind character, wouldn't you say?
Oh,
she wanted me to be sure to say that her greatest contribution is her daughters, Sophia and Camille. Hi, Darcy.
Thank you.
Oh, Darcy, we are so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you.
What are you drinking tonight, girl?
It's a bubbly.
Okay.
A nice bubbly and a champagne flute. How about you ladies?
Julie?
Well, I have straight vodka.
Go.
With ice, I have to say, and some basil from the garden.
Oh,
that
nice.
Very smooth vodka that you can drink straight, but I do sound like an alky right now, so.
Yeah, own it. Just own
And
it.
I guess this is considered a Blackberry Moscow Mule.
Nice.
And not to, no, I won't even go there. Never mind. Anyway, this is very, very good. It's infused with blackberries, vodka, ginger beer, and a little lime and mint.
Yum.
Very refreshing. So
Yeah,
cheers to you, Darcy.
Cheers.
Chin chin, ladies. Thank you for having me. I also want to make sure to thank you for creating such a wonderful platform for women. So important.
You. Well, yes, we think so too. Thank you. Well,
it's Sharon's love child.
It is my love child. Love child.
We all need that.
Yes. Yes.
It's my love child too, but.
Yay.
Well, Julie's, she's crashing and burning these days, but she steps in. I lay the groundwork, so all she has to do is step in right now. But, she's my rock. We both support each other, and it's nice to have her always with me. Always with me. There you go. Yay. And it's so cool to have you with us. And by the way, I have been loving my Revival. It's really a nice scent.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Thank you.
And I kept the surprise, the Mermaid Mist. So later in the show, I'll open it up.
Awesome.
As we get through it. Julie, she broke hers open.
Good. That's what I want.
It's like your birthday. You just can't wait.
Yeah.
And we have to talk at some point about the packaging and everything else that you do with your products, that it's so It's so unique.
I have not destroyed my package.
That's beautiful.
I
Either.
saved it for this show. So when we get to
Great.
that part, yes, we would love to.
Nice.
Yeah, we think your packaging
Did
is.
you see me take a tumble?
You saw when I came on, I'm like, doe in the headlights. You said 5 o'clock.
Shot.
It was 4:57. I'm like, man, I needed those
Oh.
3 minutes.
Oh, no, your setup is beautiful. I think everybody's going to really,
Thanks.
really enjoy this show.
Well, this is a Hummingbird Gibson guitar, which is gorgeous. And then that's Levon Helm from the band behind me. So,
You
yeah.
have all this wonderful energy around you.
Yes,
Yes.
Creative energy.
And I got my little extra mini Buddha that I keep with me. So he's right there cheering me on.
Oh, so you're very grounded today. We're ready to just get steeped in your essential oils. We understand that your sister passed 3 years ago.
Yes, it'll be 3 years on October 10th.
Okay. So you created this brand, as I understand it, to immortalize your sister's memory. What influence did her passing have on landing in this essential oil business?
It was a love that I always had and wanted to do. I was interested in essential oils, and I always liked fragrances that were not the norm. You know, like in the 80s, it was Calvin Klein, it was Poison, it was really strong fragrances that people wore. And I remember falling in love with one that was called Sage, and it was so amazing. And I have a yellow book right here, as a matter of fact, that I write all my recipes in for Rockin Robin. And so when she had passed away, when it came around to the 1 year anniversary, I was pretty devastated, and I wanted to do something that would lift my spirits and also honor her in a positive way. So I decided I'd create the Flower Child blend. And in doing so, I made sure there was like Hendrix music playing in the background. He was her favorite. And I put turquoise in there. And then I took her favorite scent, which is patchouli, which I was always kind of like, whoa, you know, that's a very special scent. And I took what I loved, which was vanilla, and then added a few other things and created Flower Child and put it in a rainbow bottle and found a special bag. These are saris, and they're from New Delhi. And a woman on Etsy recreated little bags from those. So it just was a really positive, fun thing to do. It gave me something to look forward to. And then it just was like I guess I would say a drug, but just something that I just kept wanting to do. So the ideas kept popping up.
So your sister was a flower child.
Very much so. Yeah. She was a Haight-Ashbury woman of the 60s, and I was her little flower child at Griffith Park, running around with beads around my neck, and she took me to San Francisco. And so, yeah, and I called her Rockin Robin because she would do the pony to that song, you know, and I'd always say, do the pony, do the pony. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a wonderful tribute, I think.
What a great sister.
She's amazing.
Yeah, what a fun sister.
Oh, yeah. A little too much fun.
Well, and this channeling, well, it sounds like she lived life as a free spirit.
She did.
Well, this one time it has this free kind of ride going about it and these great scents. Or on the flip side of it, you have this really grounding, beautiful aromas product that helps people. Basically, that lifts people's spirits.
Makes you feel good.
It does make you feel good. Tell us your philosophy behind your brand.
The philosophy behind the brand, and Julie spoke to this by saying she couldn't wait to open up the box, although you kind of had an idea what was coming. But
but it's still special.
It's to create an experience beyond the product. And you know, the experience is the product, but there's also more to that. So it's the little story you get in the pouch when you open it, and the way that the box is decorated, and always something just a little bit more. That's what I've enjoyed by certain people where I've received, like I've ordered, there's a wonderful gal, Stormy Jewelry, And so she makes these beautiful little bracelets, and you'd get it and it'd come in a hand painted box, and there'd be like a little tiny feather or a shell or another bracelet or something, you know, and it was just this extra care that went into the packaging. And I just thought, you know, that's so special. It's so different than just, here's a bracelet in a plastic bag, thanks.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's my way of thanking you for, you know, buying the brand. And I'm the founder, but I'm also partners with Edie Edwards. So she and I are both do the business. And the other thing that's really important is understanding that it's perfectly imperfect. So everything's handmade to order. So not everything's going to be made the same. And it's also, I try to source from small business, vegan, organic, eco-friendly, and cruelty-free. So
That's
a lot
great.
behind it. Yeah. And a lot of good music.
It sounds like music is your muse.
It has to be, and I confess to you both that sometimes it's a Dodger game, you know, when you have to.
That's all right.
When you have
Well,
to
that's going to be a
multitask.
potent scent. They better win.
Yeah, well, you know, it's looking like a good year, and they should have won in 2017, but don't get me started. Yeah, but so that's the philosophy.
Well, you have such a generous line of products, Darcy. So what would you say are your top 3 or maybe your favorite?
Yeah.
Top 3 favorite. Okay. Those are different, but top 3 are, number 1 is Mermaid. And so Sharon has Mermaid Mist, which I'm going to go into in a moment. So I'm not going to use my 3 favorites there. But the next bestseller is PDX, and PDX, my heart, Portland. This was created to experience what Forest Park and the Rose Garden is like after a beautiful rain, you know. And I just wanted to capture that any way I could. And then this one has CBD oil in it. So I have a health and wellness line. So it's a different page on my website, and this is there because it is full spectrum CBD in this. And it also has some eucalyptus. So that kind of helps accelerate it, but it's just a beautiful smell, and it's very healing on all realms. So that one's a big seller. And then launching next week is Morning Mister, which actually I think is becoming my favorite. I really love my face mists, I have to say. They're really great. And this one is in a BPA-free plastic bottle. It's a lower price point. And I just wanted something that people could like throw in their purse and carry along with them and take with them. But this is a really fun blend. When you spray it, it's like walking into a mom and pop coffee cafe. You know, you smell a little coffee, a little pastry, a little. So it's something. I love this one.
You could spray that in your mask.
Yeah, you could.
You know, you get that smell, just a light.
Ooh,
you know.
What about a mask spray?
Yeah.
Good idea, Julie. You put a little vodka in that. So I have the vodka in this, actually. So some of the blends and in one of my yoga blends, but it's this is Bug Off. And so this one I launched a couple of weeks ago, and I really, really love it. I don't like poison bug spray, and I don't know where you guys are. Well, I know where you are.
We don't either.
No poison.
Since your skin is like, or your bloodstream absorbs about 70% of everything that you place on your skin. No.
Yeah, we're absorbing enough as it is.
Yep.
I think it might even be higher.
It's terrible. And my coworker doesn't like bugs, and so he'll spray, and I'm just like, my throat was burning. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go make something now that we can use in the house. So this has like clove and rosemary. It's strong, you know, but it works, and it's a much better, safer, kinder product for getting rid of bugs. And
that's my next order.
It's a repellent instead of like a killer, right? So they don't like you, they stay away. That's what you want.
So where do the ideas from your blends come from?
It comes from the name. Usually a word will pop into my head, and then I'll just go with it. Sometimes it will be like bug spray, where, you know, I just know I want to create that, and then a funny name like Bug Off. I mean, comes. But, you know, like I have Sophia Rose Face Mist, which I love. And that's, of course, named after my beautiful daughter, Sophia. And then I have Camille Blend, which is a beautiful floral blend that Julie had ordered. Do you
I
like
love
that?
it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Isn't that wonderful?
Love it.
And it's in a beautiful bottle with roses in it. And this has rose quartz in it. And there's, you know, stories with those. And so it's basically like Stardust was one. That was a name. And I'm like, I love the name Stardust. I want to do something. And I have David Bowie playing in the background. And I'm Googling, what does the atmosphere smell like? And it says rotten eggs or cookie dough. And I'm like, we're going to opt on cookie dough. And so this one is wood and sweet, but I put eco-friendly glitter in it. That's from Denmark. And then crystals. And then it comes in this cool little spacey bag. So my Aunt Joni orders this all the time. Thank you, Aunt Joni. But that's pretty much where it comes from.
Yeah, you have just, I mean, even going to your site and looking around, you have these really interesting names and ideas behind. And then when your packaging comes, it's so well thought out.
We all come from a production background, kind of more cerebral, producer, brainy, maybe not so much directorial. You get to, you know, have fun there, but yeah. But you know, it was such a outlet initially. Like I couldn't stop the ideas, and at one point I was just like, there's just too many. How do you do that? And at that point I was like, well, it's what it is, and I just enjoy it. So
I got the impression of you describing him where you get your ideas from. I got the impression that it really was inspired through an adjective or through a noun or through something that an experience or a place you've been, that you want to be all encompassed by the scent, or you want to maybe be transported. So
yeah, sure.
It's a very tactile and olfactory product. So what advice can you give somebody who is purchasing the product online and not experiencing it or witnessing it in the flesh?
Yeah, that's a great question. And my advice is know what you like. So really simple categories would be floral, sweet, citrus, spicy, woody. So I found when I put out Flower Child, I'm like, this is fantastic. And, you know, patchouli's strong, you know, you either really like it or you really don't like it. And so people, I could tell, wanted to support me with that, but they didn't like patchouli, so they weren't buying it. So I thought it would be as easy as creating like a floral scent or, you know, Stardust that doesn't have the patchouli. But to your point, really, the best thing to do, like I said, is to know what you like ahead of time. And then I, you know, spend a lot of time putting up a really big description, you know, of a good description of what this is going to smell like, what's in it, and what it evokes, like you said, you know, the adjectives and what's behind it. And a lot of these have different crystals or stones in them that have been bathed by the moon to create more energy in them. And so there's a lot behind it. So yes, it's about the fragrance, but it's also about everything else that goes with it. I had one person, you know, Chupacabra is so fun. And I had somebody order that in Texas, and they said, you know, it smells to me like chocolate chip mint ice cream. And I was like, and it was like Palo Santo is like the high note in that. And that's what they smelled from it. So it's a tricky thing. I do my best to really be descriptive. And then you can also always email me, which I've also had people do. Like with PDX, somebody doesn't like eucalyptus, and he said his wife really loves jasmine. So I just changed the blend up a little bit and for them to do that. I mean, I make it all personally. Yeah. And I can, to that point, I can also put CBD in anything if anybody wants CBD in a certain scent. But obviously we do really well at live events and festivals, you know, because then people can smell and you see it and there's that whole experience, but I do my best.
I think that your descriptors really are, if you're already viscerally in tune with a certain place, and then that illuminates the senses, I would think that it would be fairly easy, like a slam dunk, just to order from you online and be fairly reassured. Expectations aside, yes, sometimes you have an expectation about what a scent is going to be like, and that's what we're going to demonstrate next.
Oh, cool. Yay.
That's the next question. We thought it would be really fun to take, and we should talk. This is how my packaging came, and it's so beautiful, Darcy. I really, wow, you just really put a lot of thought into your presentation.
Thank you. It was really fun to do.
I'm just thrilled to have it, and I love the soap, and I haven't used it yet because just by scent. Now I'm going to use it. Now I'm going to destroy the package. But I wanted to wait for the show. So here we go.
Yay. So give it a shake.
Now in this, Darcy, you want to describe again what's in this Mermaid Mist?
Yes, Mermaid Mist is like a splash of a mermaid's tail. So that was the visual I had for it. And so it can be, it's not necessarily face mist. It's like it is for face, but it's also body. It's for linens. It's a very, and so I took my little descriptor that I send with those to read to you so that people can kind of get a feel for what we're talking about. But it says, like a fresh splash of ocean from a mermaid's tail, this mist is deeply sensual and wonderful for anyone who loves the ocean. Seashells and sea glass collected off Malibu Surfrider Beach are added for extra color and ocean vibration. Sandalwood, Pikaki flower are the high notes. Sandalwood essence relaxes the heart and throat chakras and promotes spiritual awareness and grounding. And then the Pikaki flower is said to be worn by mermaids, and it's very popular in Hawaii. So the Hawaiian princess Kaulani was fond of both the flowers and the bird. So it's like peacock, peacock-a. So that's like the whole essence of it.
So we believe in mermaids?
100%.
Okay. Oh, all right, here we go. Okay. Now, Darcy, what do you think? Should I open it this way or should I spray it?
I would spray so it just goes like that.
Here we go. Oh, I can't wait. No. Oh my God. Yeah, that is so nice. Julie, do you have this one?
No. And
oh my God, ladies, this is great.
Yay. Isn't that beautiful? It is a great one.
Darcy.
You love spray mist.
I do.
Always spray. And I do too. I mean, but
oh, the scent is heavenly.
I can smell it from here.
I can say, ladies, anybody who's interested in the ocean or loves the ocean, this is spot on. It's wonderful. I love it. Good. Darcy. Okay, well, I'll be using this a lot. Do you advise to put it in the fridge to keep it cool, or does it matter to you?
A cool place is ideal. Does not have to stay in the fridge though. Those last a while. They're water based. And I also recommend with a lot of these that when it's about a quarter to a halfway empty, you can add more water, purified water, and get a little bit more out of your product, because there's a lot in there.
In the Hottie Palm Springs, I put my stuff in the fridge.
Yeah, well then you could absolutely put it in the fridge then. I forget that you're where it's a little warmer.
Yeah.
I grew up in Malibu in my middle teen years, and it was important, like a lot of the beach scents kind of always are kind of generic, very, suntan lotiony, and I really wanted to make sure it was more oceanic. And mermaidy, sensual, very, very
it
rich.
Is sensual. It's very sensual. It has a nice lingering scent to it. You'll like it, Julie, especially if you're missing the beach and
Yeah,
just
I
being
get
at the
a little
beach
in Pacific Northwest these days.
once the rains hit.
Well, what's interesting, so we were talking about putting things in the fridge, which is I'm doing a lot of that these days because it helps keep me cool. Which goes into our next question. You know, for those of us that are going through peri and menopause,
Yes.
you know, it could be pure hell, and anything that can make it easier. You know, and I think keeping in the fridge is something to, you know, can really cool you off. But are there products that you might suggest that could help with, you know, I get not cure, but help with relieving some symptoms of peri or menopause?
Yes. I always recommend face mists, and the Sophia Rose face mist, again, is a very calming, soothing face mist. It also has vanilla in it, which is uplifting. But when I have a good grief blend that I've sent to people if they've lost somebody, right? So
I shouldn't be laughing. I thought
no, that's
I
okay.
thought we were talking hot flashes. Good grief.
Oh,
well,
Yeah. Okay.
you are mourning certain things and
Yes.
embracing
Yes.
You're mourning the past.
Okay. You have a grief blend. Okay. I got you.
But if you have and so if you're very warm or hot, or if you've been crying, to my point with the good grief, I would always pair it with this because it soothes and calms the face and the body, and the scent is very, it like I said, it's very uplifting. I also have everyday essential oils right here. So this was a generic line that I created, again, lower price point, but really cute. And there's 22 different fragrances or scents, and one of them is hormonal. And so these, I've sent you some, I should have sent you guys hormonal. But it comes in this little purple bag, and the hormonal blend is sage and rosemary and lavender. And so again, I do the homework and see what helps with those symptoms, and then blend until I find something that I really like. So I love the hormonal blend. It's really good for that. Also on the health and wellness section of my website, PDX, again, really great if you need to relax or are having trouble sleeping. And then I also have Dormir, which is to sleep in Spanish, dormir. And this one's heavy lavender, but there's also some pine, and then it has either amethyst or crystals in there with lavender. And then I really love my yoga blend. And this is all in bamboo packaging. And it's also to evoke relaxation. So this I made so you could literally just roll it on your mat or on yourself if you have a home practice, so you can like inhale that scent.
That package is so beautiful.
Isn't it pretty? So it's biodegradable. And it just kind of went along with that line. This, unfortunately, my little sticker's coming off, but these are my testers. But this is, I have a spray, and then I also have a dropper for diffusers for that. And it, again, all these make really fun gifts. So
great gifts.
if you order them and you want to send them to somebody, and you just tell me like anything, like this is a birthday gift, then like over here, I have like, I'll have a couple of edibles, and I'll spend a lot of time with my roses and just kind of, you know, once a bouquet's done, clip them and then make these like dry floral sculptures, and grab them from the yard, and sunflowers and any types of herbs. And then that's what I'll use in my boxes too when I ship them out.
What a great idea.
Yeah, they're so pretty when they are dry. So
yeah, I found one in my box.
Yeah, that was,
I think
yellow.
In fact, a friend of mine, I've been making a lot of Instagram friends lately, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
They're real people, you know, and so you get DM'd a lot. But she just said, and it completely slipped my mind, but she said, why don't you infuse it with one of the, like I could use Revival and infuse the Rhodes. And, you know, wouldn't that be nice? You could just hold on to it, Julie, and even with some of her hormonal blends, and just take a sniff.
Yeah. Oh,
You
I
could
like
be on
like
a
that.
Zoom call and just take a sniff. Everyone could be
Good
wondering,
now. Yeah.
what are you sniffing? Well, just a little hot flash remedy.
Yeah, there you go. The best remedy is no bra.
Well, guess what?
There you go. Some of us can do that. Very freeing.
Yeah.
But believe me, I tear mine off as soon as I can in the evening.
Yeah.
Although I do have a bra that was recommended by some Ayurvedic practitioner that it basically has, it's very unstructured. So when you put it on, your breasts can breathe.
Yeah.
So I wear that occasionally.
We need to do a whole show on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'll tell
can.
you.
I bet that.
Undergarments
Yeah.
are critical.
Yoga has played a large role in your life. You taught it, you practice it. It seems it could greatly inform your new venture, life coaching. Is that a fair assessment? And how would you explain that?
It is an absolute fair assessment. So when you are a yoga teacher, your students come in and it is your purpose or your goal or your hope that you can create calmness, grounding, integrate breath, and really have them be in the present moment through movement. So you can have a whole structure of what you're going to do in your yoga vinyasa class, and then the people come in and they're completely not ready or not the right, it's just not the right fit, and you just throw it out the window and you intuitively, and I quit sequencing, pretty much, because you want them to come in and you want to read the room and give them what you feel is going to be best for those people. So it's very intuitive, and it's very giving, and life coaching to me has been that same experience. And I feel that by it's kind of a seva, right, in yoga, where you're giving. That's a seva project. To me, it's similar to that. So it's like you're living yoga. So people that are coming for life coaching, you want to ground them. You want to bring them present. You want them to be in the now, and teach them to not think about the past or the future, but to really focus on where you are right now. And it's amazing when you can do that and you learn how to, and it's actually very simple. I'm like, man, I wish I would have known this a long time ago. But it really helps relieve a lot of what you carry with you unnecessarily. And I feel like yoga and the movement, when you leave a yoga class, you feel so amazing most of the time. And I feel like the yoga teacher was kind of the bartender-esque type, where, people hang around and they ask you questions, and everybody's kind of high off the yoga, and you're all talking, and it's that same vibe. And I just found that, I have always loved self-help books, or in terms of spiritual, your Deepak Chopra, Marianne Williamson, Gabrielle Bernstein, Eckhart Tolle, really just love reading about all that. And so now it's kind of like you have this fantastic tool house that you can bring with you to life coaching.
How far away are you from launching your life coach business?
It's launched. It's a soft launch, but it's darcyfeinstein.com. You can go take a peek. And it's called Simplistic Life Coaching. And
nice.
So when you're learning, I've done a lot of seminars, coursework, and there's always, create your brand and have your sales and, have things you can offer and all these whatnots. And I'm not knocking that, but I'm like, I just want to have life coaching. I want it to be simple. I want you to go to my site, see what's there, pick it, and be done. I'll have a blog, and I'll have, a monthly email, but I really want it to be just simply about, connecting with somebody and teaching them a few simple things, and then just coaching them and see them go, see them thrive. And life coaching for me changed my life, really. And it was just a simple a few simple shifts in perception, and I'm just like, wow, it really, really helps. And from what's going on in our lives right now, there's a lot of need for life coaches, I think. And so I offer scholarships and sliding scale because I feel, you know, that's where the need is a lot of the time. And I feel like that's who I want to empower, you know? So initially it's a lot of volunteer work, which is great. And I enjoy that very much. And then, like I mentioned, I'm getting the master's certification. And that just means, I've already done the professional life coach certification, but then you do happiness life coaching, goal setting life coaching, life purpose. And then you could just keep learning. There's NLP, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And then the one that I love is art therapy, life coaching. So so they have a niche, but I am going to offer also movement with life coaching.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I also was going to chime in and say that I think, and I've seen this, as it's not about having all your marketing tools in place before you launch your business. Sometimes this intuitive way of going is the way to just do it, as we all know that slogan.
It's also, Darcy, it is so at the core of who you are, because you think about, your yoga practice and teaching and, this essential oil and product line and life coach. I mean, you're giving back. That's who you are. You're creating something and helping other people.
I just want to give back, and to have a one-on-one connection more, and to be a little more grounded. And, there's not a lot of time on the planet, and I just want it to be really special and helpful and help people. And, it's a practice. So like, to your point, Sharon, it's not like having, okay, I'm all set up and I know everything, now I'm ready. There's going to be hit and miss, and that's how you learn. And it's just like yoga, it takes a while, and you got to be patient, and
you're just stepping into the current.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I always took that away from yoga. Just step into the current. Don't fight the current. Step into it. You see, especially now, we should say you're in Los Angeles. Darcy, by the way, is in LA. Julie's in Portland, and I'm in Palm Springs. But Darcy's heart is also in Portland. That's how we all met.
My thought too, it's like it's literally throwing your heart over the fence and your body will follow.
Oh,
and
that's so beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Well, and I think at this time, like you had mentioned, for women 40 and older, it's a shift. Whether you have kids, you don't have kids, you're going through divorce, you're going through changing your career, as you're evolving. I just think it's so important, like you said, to just kind of listen to yourself. I think just that quote is, throw your heart over, your body will follow, because it is a time for transition, and how you embrace that as you get older.
Yeah, and you also want to be able to share your wisdom with younger people if they're open to that. And I'm really hoping with the life coaching that I can do that and say, hey, the last 30 years, if I knew to just focus on the now, and here's how you do it. And, we spend 40% of our time trying to fix what's happened in the past. And that's a fact. And you're thinking about it and worrying and why, and like, who cares? It's like, bye.
It already happened.
But we're there, and it's just how our brains are. And it's really great, fun stuff to learn, but just to train yourself, and the self-talk that we have, and the social media, and what that does to people, and how they feel about themselves. I feel like it's going to be important to learn tools to love yourself. Right?
Yeah.
And take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's why it's so important that why this venue is a place for us to be able to talk about things and be able to pull together as this collective group.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we're not just
beautiful.
role models, but we also need to be supportive and learn from each other.
What you learned and what you had to unlearn. In fact, there's a lot of unlearning going on as you're growing older. Let's go to your superpower.
Okay.
We love this question. This is a question that's asked by another friend of mine a lot. And I just thought, what a great question this is. Because we all have a superpower. What's yours, Darcy?
Nurture. I think nurture is my superpower. And it's to encourage and care for others and to help them grow. And I feel, mothering has been my greatest joy, hands down. And so that it's obviously relatable to my daughters, but it's also something as a producer you carry with you because you're caring for your crew and you're caring for your client. And then it's just like a life practice. And I think in yoga, absolutely, you're nurturing your students along in life coaching. It's a definite superpower that I'm going to need to call upon.
We thought it would just be really appropriate for Darcy to give us a quote that surrounds this new venture she's about to take or is taking. And so Darcy, what's your quote?
The quote is actually from a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, and she's Burmese, and she is a political leader. If you feel helpless, help others.
Darcy, thank you so much for joining us, and we really appreciate you being on the show. And you have some other information you want to share with everybody?
Yeah. Yes, and thank you both so much for having me on your wonderful show. I'm very honored. And on October 10th, it's the 2-year anniversary of Rockin Robin. So we're going to have a nice big sale for the whole week. So from the 10th through the 17th of October. And we're at Rockin Robin on Instagram. So it's ROCKIN, no G, Robin. And also rockinrobinus.com. And then I want to do a little plug for Lone Hawk hats. So, don't know if you know them. Charley Overbey's a musician and also creates hats for a lot of celebs, and they're doing a lot of work for the Navajo Nation as well. So
it's a great hat.
It is a great hat.
You always have great hats.
Yeah. They're usually Charley's.
Well, I think we need to do a cheers.
Yes.
To the lovely women in our lives, those that came before us and those that will come after. So
and that are here now.
And that are here now, of course.
Here's to you, Darcy.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Best of luck with all this. It's just an absolute pleasure. And I hope you bring me back in a year.
Oh, we definitely will bring you back.